On this next day, my key exploration was through any specific yoga poses that really resonated with me. And the quote that brought this up is, "Yoga allows you to find a new kind of freedom that you may not have known have ever existed." Every 4 weeks, I take on a new topic to make myself either healthier, wealthier, or wiser. And it's something that I want to capture my experience and provide for you as a gateway to explore each of these topics deeper. Now, a few years back, I was training for my first Ironman race. Big into endurance athletics, and so Ironman, swim, bike, run, and the run's marathon distance. In typical fashion, I bit off more than I could chew, and I ended up injured when I started this training process. And it was specifically due to my deadlift technique. That's not important, but it's a key factor in my whole recovery arc. So yoga was central to my recovery. I slowly recovered over 6 months with the support of trainers and specifically one physical therapist who was an all-star. And all of their advice, it still relates deeper and deeper as I explore yoga through these few weeks. I just see things keep coming back up over and over again. Many poses in yoga and many routines complement the intensive work that I experienced in recovery, and they remain relevant today. Especially I can feel them in my hip where I had the injury, where I continue to work through some of that and really gain new ground, especially as I do this consistently every single day. And so the question here is, are there any specific yoga poses for you or specific sequences or routines that resonate deeply with you? And here's 3 ways to really think about that and to unpack that question and go one level deeper. So the first one is personal affinity. Some of us just really like a specific pose because it feels good. And identifying poses that provide a sense of grounding that you can return back to, or expansion or empowerment, resonate with individual preferences and experiences. And I'm doing this live stream here and recording this standing up because mountain pose is very resonant with me. I'm a tall, straight, skinny guy. And so when I stand up like this, I really feel an affinity for that and regaining my posture. So the second area to unpack any specific poses and go one level deeper would be your energetic connection. And so this is exploring poses that activate specific energy centers. And so you have all these chakras in yoga from your, top of your head down to the bottom of your core, and they facilitate a harmonious flow of energy through the body. And so, without going too deep into that, maybe that's a little too woo-woo for you, or maybe that's your favorite thing about yoga. But regardless, there are specific parts of your yoga practice that can help really energize you. And so I mentioned a few days ago how I needed one day to really rest and recover. And it just so happens that the routine that day was specifically tailored for recovery. And I think I was sitting the whole time. So really in the routine, Yoga by Adriene, and the one that I was following, was talking about how this is about your root chakra at the very base of you. And I mean, we're literally sitting on the ground, so it makes sense. And that really energized me and helped connect me to the practice in that way. The final way for you to have a lens of looking at the different poses and which ones really resonate with you is that mind-body integration. This is often the third way that I look at any one of these questions, is looking at the mind-body connection and selecting poses that evoke maybe an emotional release or promote mental clarity. You enter into a pose, and when you get really settled in, just like the fog clears. Or maybe it creates a deep sense of relaxation, like literally, I think it's called corpse pose, where I'm just laying on the ground. Couldn't be more relaxing than that at the very end of a whole sequence of yoga poses. And restorative poses, stuff that you can return back to and help recenter yourself in the midst of a sequence or just in the midst of a long day. And so these are 3 different ways that I think you can unpack and identify which specific yoga poses resonate deeply with you.